Good evening. Once again, I'm Stephanie Ruhle. There is breaking news tonight from the New York Times concerning the Justice Department's investigation into the role Donald Trump and his allies played in the days ahead of the Capitol riot. The Times says prosecutors are focusing on critical Trump White House records and, quote, have issued a grand jury subpoena to the National Archives for all the documents the agency provided to a parallel House Select Committee inquiry. According to a copy of the subpoena obtained by the New York Times, those materials included records from the files of Mr. Trump's top aides, his daily schedule and phone logs, and a draft text of the president's speech that preceded the riot. The Times says the subpoena is not related to the FBI search of Trump's Florida home. So that means the Department of Justice is running a separate probe into the Trump White House and what the former guy was doing on January 6th. But there's also news about the probe into the handling of classified documents by the former guy. Tomorrow, a federal judge will hold a hearing on requests to unseal the affidavit that details the reasons for that very search. The Justice Department opposes releasing that document, while Donald Trump and some of his allies want it made public. They have also attacked the FBI over and over for the search. But today, the former Vice President, Mike Pence, called for those attacks to come to an end.
The Republican Party is the party of law and order. Our party stands with the men and women who serve on the thin blue line at the federal and state and local level. And these attacks on the FBI must stop. Calls to defund the FBI are just as wrong as calls to defund the police.
If they're the party of law and order, the question is Mike Pence the guy who stands with Donald Trump? It doesn't sound like it. And what about the congressional investigation into the insurrection itself? Well, Mike Pence also made very big headlines with this response.
Just to stay on that, January 6th, if they were to call you to the committee to come and testify, talk, would you be agreeable?
Well, I would, if there was an invitation to participate, I would consider it. I would have to reflect on the unique role that I was serving in as vice president.
If you are confused, and we have not made it crystal clear yet, the former guy and his allies are now the focus of several investigations. Today, a Georgia grand jury investigating possible 2020 election interference heard from Rudy Giuliani. He is considered a target in that investigation, and he spent about 6 long hours inside the Fulton County Courthouse.
Grand juries, as I recall, a secret. They ask the questions and we'll see.
Another key Trump ally is due in a different court tomorrow. Sources tell NBC News Trump Organization former CFO Allen Weisselberg will plead guilty to several criminal charges. He's expected to be sentenced to 5 months in jail for his role in a long-running tax scheme at the former president's family business. Sources also say Weisselberg will cooperate against the Trump Organization, but there is no indication he will cooperate in any investigation into the former president. But remember, that business that he ran was a very small family business run by Donald Trump.